Welcome to Retro Rides Garage, where legends still earn their keep. Today we are counting down 12 vintage cars that made history and still hold up on real roads. Forget museum pieces. These machines deliver feel, feedback, and reliability that survive traffic, heat, and long miles. You will meet an aluminum mid-engine hero that drives like a modern exotic, a touring car bruiser with squared-off fenders and perfect sightlines, and a four-door with a towering wing that proved wind tunnels were not hype. We will touch fuel injection pioneers, big block torque that moves mountains, and arrow noses that slice the air without drama. If you love road trips, I will show you which classics stay cool, which brakes do not fade, and which chassis still talk through the seat of your pants. If you dream of buying one, you will learn what to expect, how to enjoy them weekly, and the simple upgrades that make them even better. Stay to the end for a quick buyer's checklist, and tell us your rule of thumb in the comments. Hit like if you want more honest car history, and tap subscribe so you never miss a drop. Ready to hear a small block sing, big block lope, and a race-bred V6 wake up on cam? Let's fire them up and drive history, starting now. From an aluminum hero tuned with racing wisdom to box flare sedans, from touring car wars to calm arrow wings. Headphones on, buyer bonus at the end. The 1991 Acura NSX still feels modern the moment you settle into its low seat and twist the key. An aluminum monocoque keeps weight down and resists flex, so the chassis talks to you over every input. The mid-mounted 3.0-liter DOHC V6 spins happily toward an 8,000 RPM redline, and Honda's variable valve timing, written here as VTEC for clean TTS, wakes up the cams without a hiccup. Steering is precise, the 5-speed shifter moves with a light metal click, and the brakes stay calm and consistent. Double wishbone suspension at all four corners with forged control arms was tuned with feedback from test drivers including Ayrton Senna, which explains the stable balance at speed and the friendly limit when you lean on it. Forward visibility is panoramic thanks to the thin pillars and the low cowl, so you place the nose exactly where you want it on a back road or in traffic. The cabin avoids drama and focuses on ergonomics, clear gauges, supportive seats, cool air, and reliability that lets you truly daily it now. The aluminum body panels resist corrosion, the drivetrain handles mileage, and the car's responses make big power feel unnecessary. It rewards smooth hands now. The 1989 BMW M3 E30 proves why drivers still chase analog feel. Born for Group A touring car rules, it wears box-flared fenders and a deeper front valance that cut lift and clear wide tires. Under the hood sits the S14 four-cylinder, a short-stroke, high-rev design that turns throttle inputs into instant response and a rising metallic rasp. The 5-speed shifts with a crisp, mechanical motion, the limited slip diff helps the car rotate on exit, and the quick steering gives clear feedback without kickback. Springs, dampers, and geometry were tuned for real circuits, so body control stays tidy over crests and compressions, yet the ride never feels brittle. Inside, upright glass and thin pillars give superb sightlines. The seating position is perfect, and every control lands where your hands expect it. The E30's balance invites you to trail brake, breathe on the throttle, and link corners rather than blast them. Its touring car pedigree shows in the way it soaks up long stints, holds alignment, and shrugs off heat. It breathes with the surface, keys into the apex, and follows cleanly, making some modern hot hatches feel oddly busy. The 1990 Mercedes-Benz 190e February 5th, 16 Evolution 2 is a masterclass in turning endurance into speed. Built in a run of a little over 500 cars for touring car homologation, it gained a deep front dam, boxed arches, and that towering multi-position rear wing, all proven in the wind tunnel to trim lift and add stability. The 2.5-liter 16-valve engine loves long stints at high RPM, the close ratio 5-speed keeps it on the cam, and the limited slip diff puts power down without drama. The self-leveling suspension and revised geometry keep the body flat while the ride stays composed over broken pavement. The steering is precise but calm on a highway, the big brakes stay cool, and the car tracks arrow straight at speeds that would unsettle many newer sedans. Inside, the upright glass and square dash give clear sight lines and a no-nonsense vibe that makes the car easy to read. Point it into a series of corners and you feel the front end bite, the rear rotate a degree, and the chassis settle, ready for more. That blend of aero efficiency, durability, and control is why the Evo 2 still holds up today. It invites clean laps and delivers confidence mile after mile. Aero parts do work, wing, under tray, and tight wells calm air, so the car stays planted without harsh spring rates. The 1957 Chevrolet Bel Air Fuelie proves how good engineering ages well. Its Rochester Ramjet mechanical fuel injection turned the small block 283 into a 1 horsepower per cubic inch milestone, with crisp cold starts and clean throttle response that carburetors struggled to match. The stout body-on-frame chassis, independent front suspension, and a leaf spring live rear axle make the ride supple on real streets while keeping the car predictable at the limit. Drum brakes and recirculating ball steering sound old school, yet they're linear and confidence-building when properly set up. Choose the 3-speed manual for period involvement, the Power Glide 2-speed for smooth cruising, or the Turbo Glide Automatic for smooth acceleration. Sightlines are excellent thanks to thin pillars, the bench seats are comfortable, and the trunk swallows luggage. Today, what keeps the Bel Air relevant isn't only chrome and tail fins, it's serviceability and part support. The small block takes modern fuels without drama. Cooling systems can be upgraded invisibly, and radial tires transform grip without spoiling character. You get honest torque, relaxed gearing, and easy highway pace, plus a cabin that welcomes families to the car culture story. That blend of innovation, durability, and everyday usability is why a well-sorted Fuelie still holds up on weekend tours and crosstown errands alike now. The 1965 Shelby GT350 shows how a focused idea can outlast trends. Carroll Shelby started with a K-Code Mustang Fastback and tuned the 289 Hypa V8 to a quoted 306 horsepower, then paired it with a close-ratio 4-speed and a low, mechanical idle that snaps to life with a blip. Front disc brakes, stiffer springs, Coney-type dampers, a fatter sway bar, and the famous Shelby drop of the front control arm sharpened turn-in without making the ride punishing. Out back, traction bars control axle wind-up, so the car puts power down cleanly out of tight corners. A fiberglass hood and simplified trim shave weight. The result is a car that feels eager and light on its feet. The steering is quick but never darty, and the gearbox rewards a decisive wrist with short, positive throws. Early GT350s kept the cabin simple and purposeful, with supportive seats, clear gauges, and little to distract you from the job of driving. Some cars use side exit exhaust that adds a hard bark. Either way, the sound is unmistakable. What makes the GT350 hold up today is the balance, useful torque across the middle, strong brakes, cooling that can handle traffic, and ergonomics that work for real trips. On a modern back road, it still accepts trail braking, rotates predictably, and settles on the throttle. The car communicates through the seat, the wheel, and the shifter, so you flow with it instead of forcing it. The 1965 Shelby Cobra 427 still feels like a live wire. Shelby reworked the AC chassis with wider tracks, bigger tubes, and coil spring suspension, then dropped in Ford's 427 cubic inch FE big block in side oiler form for serious endurance oiling. Output varied by tune, but road cars deliver heavy torque everywhere, and a close ratio 4-speed keeps the engine on a cam with short, positive throws. Unassisted rack and pinion steering talks through the wheel, while 4-wheel disc brakes haul the light body down without drama. Everything feels immediate: throttle, brake, and the way the chassis takes a set, rotates a degree, and rockets out on a wave of torque. On modern tires, the car will run sub 5-second sprints, but the magic is how planted it can be when you respect weight transfer. The seating position is low and braced, pedals are spaced for heel and toe, and sightlines over the fenders help you aim. There's wind, heat, and a deep exhaust beat, yet the package stays cohesive. Indeed, the ride breathes with the surface, and the controls never go numb. What makes the 427 hold up today is purity, minimal insulation, no power aids, and a structure happy to work. Drive it smoothly, and it flows. Push too much steering, and it tells you to back off. Few cars make you this aware of physics at legal speeds, and fewer still combine that awareness with such laughter-inducing speed. The 1969 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1 shows how racing purpose can create a road car that still feels relevant. Born from the Copo 9560 program, it swapped the iron big block for the all-aluminum 427 ZL1, cutting front weight and waking up turn-in. The official rating said 430 horsepower, but period tests saw well beyond that, and the torque curve arrives like a hammer. Most cars use a close-ratio Muncie 4-speed and a 12-bolt Positraction rear, heavy-duty cooling, power front discs, and stout springs kept temps down and geometry honest. The car idles with a hard, metallic cadence, yet drivability is shockingly clean once warm. With a lighter nose, it points into corners with less effort than typical big blocks, communicates through the unassisted steering, and puts power down cleanly if you respect weight transfer. The cowl induction hood feeds cool air as speed rises. The shifter is direct, and the cabin's thin pillars make it easy to place. Only 69 were built, aimed at drag racers who needed durability and consistency. That purpose is why it holds up today. The package is simple, strong, and thermally stable, so it will lap, cruise, or idle in traffic without drama, then rocket forward when you open the secondaries. It rewards clean inputs, straight alignment, and fresh tires, and it still feels like a factory hot rod. The 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle SS 454 LS6 is old-school muscle refined enough to live with today. Under the cowl induction hood sits a high-compression big block rated at 450 horsepower and 500 pound-feet, with a big Holley carb, 4-bolt mains, and a rowdy mechanical cam that still idles steadily once warm. Buyers chose a Muncie 4-speed or a Turbo 400 automatic. Either way, a 12-bolt Positraction rear and optional 355 or deeper gears launch the car hard. Front discs, the F41 suspension package, and heavy-duty cooling make the chassis calm and predictable on real roads. The steering is slow by modern standards, but accuracy is high and stability at highway speeds is excellent. Inside, big seats, clear gauges, and good ventilation make long drives easier. What keeps the LS6 relevant is the breadth. It will loaf at 2,000 RPM with relaxed gearing, then shove you forward on a mountain of torque without a downshift. Part support is immense, and modern radials, better pads, and invisible cooling upgrades fold in neatly. Treat the throttle with respect, let the rear settle, and the car flows through sweepers with grace. Clutch effort is light and cowl flaps growl adds theater without drone. Sightlines are clear through thin pillars, and factory-style air conditioning keeps the cabin cool in summer traffic. The 1970 Buick GSX Stage 1 proves luxury and muscle can coexist and age well. Its 455 makes a rated 360 horsepower and a thunderous 510 pound-feet at low RPM, helped by big valve heads, hotter cam, and an 800 CFM quadrajet tune for clean response. Most cars use a Turbo 400 with a firm smart shift, backed by a 364 Positraction rear. The combination drops into its torque early and surges forward without strain. The ride and handling package adds thicker sway bars, tuned springs, and power front discs, so body motion stay tidy and the brake pedal is reassuring. Unlike many peers, the GSX is quiet at cruise, the seats are supportive, the cabin stays cool with air conditioning. Open the throttle and it digs in, hooks and goes, yet it settles back to a calm low RPM lope a moment later. That dual nature is why it holds up. You get real long-distance comfort, everyday manners, and serious straight-line speed in one package. Parts availability is strong, and modern tires plus better pads make the already stout chassis feel contemporary. Yellow or white stripes are fun, but the real appeal is torque on demand, relaxed gearing, and a structure that stays quiet even as the speedometer sweeps right. Stage 1 cars also received a calibrated distributor curve, sharpening response without losing the smooth idle. The 1970 Plymouth Superbird proves that wind tunnel thinking ages well. Built to homologate for NASCAR, it wears a long nose cone and a tall rear wing that calm airflow and cut drag, giving it stability that road-going muscle often lacked. Under the hood, you could get the 440 with a 4-barrel or 6-barrel, or the legendary 426 Hemi. Either way, there is deep torque, clean cooling, and durability. Most street cars left the line with a Torque Flight 3-speed and a sure grip rear, while heavy-duty suspension pieces and power front discs gave reassuring control. The aero parts are not just theater. The nose plants the front, the wing clears the trunk, lives in clean air, and the car tracks straight at highway speeds. Torsion bars up front and leaf springs in back sound old, yet the ride breathes with the surface and body motion stay tidy. Visibility is better than you expect. The nose drops away, and the wing sits back in the mirror like a sight. What keeps it relevant now is how it turns big numbers into calm behavior. It starts easily, idles evenly once warm, settles into a relaxed lope, then surges when you ask. It also tells a story. This shape brought a superstar back to Plymouth and pushed racing into the aero era. Today, on modern radials, it still feels planted and friendly, a rare mix of bold style and real engineering that works on the street today. The 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona Hemi took NASCAR aerodynamics from sketches to milestones. Built for homologation, it added a pointed nose, a huge rear wing set high in clean air, and a revised backlight that smoothed flow off the roof. The result was the first stock car to officially break 200 miles per hour on a sanctioned oval, showing how drag reduction brings speed and stability together. Street cars carry the 440 Magnum or the 426 Hemi, backed by either a 4-speed manual or a TorqueFlite 3-speed. A Dana rear with sure grip put the shove to the pavement. Power front discs and heavy-duty cooling were common, and chassis tuning favored stability, so the car tracks true and resists flow. The nose cone calms the steering over rough pavement. The wing adds rear bite without blocking trunk access, and the flush rear glass reduces lift. From the driver's seat, you notice a long, steady stride, gentle wind noise for the shape, and a sense that the car prefers smooth inputs and clean lines. What keeps the Daytona relevant is the way it translates race science into real-world ease. It starts, idles, and cruises like a big Dodge, then digs in and storms forward when the road opens. Even today, its aero hardware is not cosplay. It works, making the car composed on modern highways while still delivering the thunder people expect from a Hemi badge. The 1966 Ford GT40 Mark II still sets the template for usable endurance speed. It paired a 7-liter Ford Big Block with a strong 4-speed and huge vented brakes inside a low, wide body tuned in the wind tunnel and on long test days. Cooling, oiling, and brake ducting were rethought so the car could sprint and then survive. That package delivered the famous 1-2-3 at the 24-hour race in France, and the lessons carried into seasons beyond. What matters on the road is how coherent it feels. Quick steering that is calm on center, a planted mid-engine balance, and a chassis that accepts trail brake and early throttle. The cockpit is tight but purposeful, with clear gauges, firm pedals for heel and toe, and visibility that is better than the stance suggests. The engine's broad torque makes gear choice easy. It surges from low revs, then pulls cleanly to a hard, mechanical top end. It runs cool when maintained, the brakes stay consistent, and the suspension breathes with bumps rather than skittering. That blend of pace and poise is why the GT40 still holds up today. It is a trophy winner and a machine that rewards clean inputs and long stints. Real speed is control first, power second. Endurance tuning is what makes performance usable day after day.